calling all sports fans and athletes. Have you ever longed for a place to converse about your passion for sports? Hang out, talk sports, meet athletes, and be heard. Sports Chat TV. And here's your host, Brooke Brown.
Welcome to Sports Chat TV. Tonight's going to be about golf. Welcome aboard. I'd like to thank my guests for joining me. We'll start out with some intros. Introduce yourself and your familiarity with sports, and we'll get this going. I guess we'll start with you, Ray.
Okay. My name's Ray Ouzts. I know it looks funny online. I've been golfing for 20 years, and I'm an overall sports fanatic. I stayed in L.A. for 20 years with the Lakers and the Dodgers and the Angels, and I've been to NBA championships. I was a volunteer at the U.S. Open in 2010. I have my own YouTube golf channel, and I've played the top 10 golf courses in the world, which is pretty good.
All right. What's up, Ryan? How you doing?
How you doing? I have no idea why I'm on this show.
You say that every time. You know golf.
Well, I used to live a life before music, and that was playing professional golf, and that's no joke. And I was a college coach for a little while, and I taught golf for 17 years now. Yeah, really exciting.
It is exciting. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's more to me than just music.
Sweet. So, we started with sports news, and then we'll talk about some golf. So, today in sports news, UFC fighter overseeing tests positive for elevated testosterone. So, steroids are happening in UFC now. Not a good thing. It's opening day in MLB. So, currently there's a game on ESPN between the Phillies and the Reds. It was a pretty intense game going on. We're gearing up for those playoffs in the National Hockey League. A lot of injuries and what-ifs in wild card races right now. And there's still the NBA going on. A lot of to do with now that March Madness is who's going to be drafted into the NBA, as well as playoffs only start in a week and a half. I know it's already NBA playoff time, but since we've had a shortened season, it's come quick. So those are the current headlines, along with Commissioner Stern, who's the commissioner of the NBA, said that he wants to make sure that players will not come out of high school, and that's still a controversial topic right now, as he exits being commissioner in a couple years. So that should be on the headlines as well. So, back to topic at hand. We're going to go back right now and go into golf. Let's go with the headlines today in golf. A lot of practice going on today at Augusta, and people are wondering what Tiger's going to do. So, Ray, let's start with you. You seem to be up on it every 5 seconds. So let's start with what your predictions, musings. Talk about who withdrew last night due to a back injury. Yes. We'll go on. We'll start with you, and then Ryan, you can join in as you please.
Okay, I am a big Tiger fan, and I guess I always have been. I think that he's going to be in contention on Sunday, for sure, along with Rory McIlroy. He played so well last year, and Phil Mickelson, who's got 3 majors there and 1 at the PGA. So he knows that course. I think those 3 guys obviously are going to be in the final, maybe twosome on Sunday afternoon. Dustin Johnson withdrew yesterday with a back injury, which I'm sure he's disappointed about. I saw him at the U.S. Open in 2010 when he had the lead on the 4th round and totally blew it. That was his chance for a major. And then at the PGA, he blew it too. So him withdrawing is pretty disappointing. The par 3, I think, was rained out, and Padraig Harrington was named the winner. And the 3, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Arnold Palmer, did not get to play today, if that's up to speed. Right, Ryan?
I guess, yeah.
Well, who do you think's going to
Well, I have to butt in right now because last week Ryan and I were just chit-chatting, and he called Tiger's win. So for all you golf nuts out there, he called it. He knew, he was coming back. So, yay, Ryan.
I should have put money on that one.
You should have.
I did. The day he won Bay Hill, I live in Reno, Nevada, so we have gambling here. So I can go down and have breakfast and place a sports bet. And I got Tiger at 4-1 the day he won Bay Hill for the Masters.
Nice.
Yeah, but I called it a week before it even started, so I should get something for that, right? Come on.
What you want? You thought he would win Bay Hill?
Yeah, I predicted he would win. I told Brooke, I said, Tiger's going to win a week before it even started.
It's true, I can attest. And I was
I
like,
think she was
teeter-totting.
blown away.
Well, I wasn't blown away. I was just, I love Tiger too, but he's just been struggling in a short game. And that's usually where he used to flourish.
True.
So, I know he's, changed his swing and he's getting better in his iron game, but the short game wins the Masters, especially on those greens. So,
But if he can get it in the fairway off of all those tees, he's got a tremendous advantage.
Well, I mean, there's no Augusta. There's fairway hitting it in the rough doesn't matter. I mean, the rough is the equivalent of what, an inch and a quarter or something. I mean, it's not even a factor in now if you're in the rough amongst the trees, that's one thing, but
Right.
in the rough is absolutely nothing. I mean,
Well, it's wet and it's soft, so
it doesn't matter. These guys are so strong. I mean, that kind of stuff doesn't affect it. For them, for it to be wet, only plays to their advantage because they can stuff the balls with the greens. Because the greens are truly the most incredible things I've ever seen before. When I've been there, and it's just you can't describe them to people until you see them or you play them yourself. And they're if you have a marble floor or a wood floor or linoleum floor, that's pretty much what it's like.
right.
And people, that's not an exaggeration at all.
You're not exaggerating. No. Nope. Have you played the old course at St. Andrews, Ryan?
green at Augusta. Either one of you, let's go.
Ryan, you've seen it.
What do you want to know? I'm sorry, I'm trying
Fast?
to share this.
Fast or slow?
Oh,
kind of a weird way of
fast
asking.
fast wouldn't be the word I would choose. They're
Quick?
they're
Speedy?
Ice skating rink.
they're just it's basically a tabletop.
That's right.
It's beyond fast.
Okay, beyond fast.
Yeah.
All 4 days or just the last round? Or does it depend on the weather throughout?
No, it's all. I mean, if there's, I mean, there at that place, I mean, they can take care of anything. The grounds crew, I mean, it's going to be the same speed every day. The players expect that, and I think that that's pretty much a given. Now, depending on whether they dry out, that could speed a green up. If it's wet, it's going to be much slower than it is when it's dry, just because of the firmness of the ground. But in terms of the grass being cut, it's going to be cut the same length every day.
So, should we expect? I haven't looked at the weather report this week for
I didn't
Augusta.
look at it. I don't know.
I think there's a 40% chance of rain tomorrow and maybe 50% chance of rain on Friday.
I think this is the first year since 1986 I won't be watching.
You won't be watching.
I don't own a television, so.
You can watch it online on masters.org.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You can't watch. You can only watch a couple holes.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
Because
par
CBS
three.
and ESPN own the rights.
Yeah.
Well, they show
I
it
wish you
in
could.
the corner, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about the actual televised event. I'll be able to watch you can watch a few holes, sure.
Huh.
But yeah, that's a little sad. This will be the first year.
Wait,
But anyway.
do you have like a sports bar in your area?
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit there with people, rowdy people around me.
Well, Ryan, I could put my camera on my TV and open a hangout for you so you can watch it.
There you go. A new way to watch television. Somebody
copyright
Stream it.
Would I just
stream it?
But if I only share it with Ryan and he only shares it with the 14,000 people that have him circled, that's limited, right?
To an extent.
I've got 4 Uverse channels with masters on it that I can choose from.
Wow.
Wow.
So, and
Well,
then
we
I
know
have
what you're
one
doing this weekend.
I'll be watching it via ESPN and CBS.
No
Yeah,
cable?
I'll just catch the highlights and stuff like that.
Well, I'll send you a recap every day, Brian.
I appreciate that.
Top 10 just golf highlights, of the
It's
day.
going to be epic, you guys, because everybody is playing so well. Phil has won
That's
this
what they
year.
say every year. Come on.
Well, look,
They say
Phil
that
won,
everybody's
Trevor
playing
won.
great.
Rory won. Luke Donald won. They've all won in the past 7 weeks.
Yeah, but what about the people that, have won in the past but have kind of been struggling as of late? And they might come, was it the U.S. Open a couple years ago when it was the sudden death between Tiger and
Rocco Mediate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that was like intense golf to watch.
Right behind me. Yeah.
I'll guarantee you right now that someone like a Fred Couples that's won it before, or someone older that knows the course is going to be in contention. It's not going to be all these young guys. It's going to be veterans. I guarantee it. By Sunday afternoon, you heard it here, in the top 10, there'll be at least 5 people over the age of 35.
Oh, I thought you were going to say over 50.
No.
Tiger's over 35.
Because they've dealt with the pressure. They know what it's like to play there on Sunday afternoon on the back 9. It starts Saturday afternoon on the back 9. That's when the tournament starts. Doesn't matter who's leading tomorrow.
Nope.
It doesn't matter who's leading Friday.
No.
I'm telling you, Saturday night is going to be. I mean, look at last year. All the great players in the world, and Charles Schwartzel, he birdies the last 4 holes. No one's ever done that before in the history.
It was unbelievable.
What did he shoot the last round? Was it a 63?
I'll look it up.
64, maybe? No, I'm thinking Gary Player shot 64 to win his last Masters. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, nobody had really heard about Charles Schwartz.
No, he was way under the radar.
Yeah.
The previous year, he was tied for 30th, and he'd never played it before then. So this was only his second time playing.
Buzzy Zeller, same thing. Rookie year, first time he ever played, he wins in 1979. So,
Ryan,
I mean...
You're a sandbagger.
What's that mean?
You're a sandbagger. You say so you know a lot about golf.
I hope so. I played it for 25 years.
I know, but I got your profile, and I was all like, well, he talks about music. I don't know anything about golf. Or you go to my profile, and it's all golf.
No, I mean, I play professional golf, so I know a little bit.
And so you know Tiger Woods, right?
Of course I know Tiger Woods.
How does he, he's a bad tipper, isn't he?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I've heard he has that rep now.
Yeah, he went out in Orlando recently, right before winning Bay Hill with a group of 17 people and just left a 10% tip.
Well, I mean, that has nothing to do with his golf, but I mean,
no.
I guess. I don't know. The greatest golfer to ever play the game besides Jack Nicklaus. And,
did you see the news today?
And Mickey Wright.
Rick Riley wrote at ESPN about Tiger's half-brother.
I don't buy into all this gossip stuff. People are trying to smear him, and I get so fed up with that all the time.
Right.
Well, my thing with it all is, well, first of all, it seemed like the world all of a sudden cared about golf and Tiger Woods when they really didn't. Like, there was the fans of us, and then there was the rest of the world. So when it came out that he had, the whole thing with his wife and had cheated, and the the drama that went down, then people like really got into it, and I was just like, for one, Tiger never ever lied about his partying and what he would do off the golf cart. He went on Ellen on his show and was like, I have my own golf cart, and I don't like, when I'm out with my friends, I don't play legit, and I go party all the time. He used to always say that. So I just think that the media and the way he was portrayed in the media as just this perfect person is really what the problem was, because nobody's perfect. And to make it seem like he's the worst person in the world and the first athlete that has ever done something remotely similar is kind of ridiculous, and I think it's just been blown way out of proportion. But that's my opinion on the whole matter. But I mean, he's not the...
golf is supposed to have etiquette. The NBA, you know, these guys go out and get DUIs. You don't see golfers getting DUIs.
Well, you don't see it covered in the media.
Well, why not?
Because it's not as prevalent in the media. Okay, think about the sports that you see on ESPN on a normal basis. It's either basketball, football, baseball, soccer occasionally now.
Tennis, rarely.
Tennis on ESPN
John
too.
Daly. Did I say that? No, I didn't.
What?
John Daly.
Yeah, he got...
Well, look, yeah, you know, he needs to go to AA. What can I tell you?
But what I'm saying is, if media, sports media in general, didn't start all this gossip and they need to treat every sport equally. If something happens in golf, it should be reported. Not, because all they do is they make it seem that, you know, NBA players and football players are the only ones getting in trouble. No, that's not
Baseball
the case.
players.
And baseball players.
Players get into trouble all the time.
Yeah, but because hockey is not, I mean, it's popular here, but it's not as popular as it is in Canada.
Right.
That's not always...
You gotta remember how many players are there in the National Football League total? How many players are there in the NBA total?
Exactly.
How many players are there on the PGA Tour?
A lot.
225.
No, there's 1,000.
So that. I mean, if you take all the world tours combined, the European Tour, the PGA Tour, the Canadian Tour, the Nationwide Tour, it still doesn't even add up to the number of players that are in the NFL. So of course, there's going to be more coverage in regards to NFL or NBA. Or
yeah, there's that.
More interested in the National Football League of the NBA than they are in the PGA Tour. But the PGA Tour raises more money than any other professional sport.
That's true.
They've raised $1 billion.
So that's what I'm saying. You're highlighting the discrepancy in legitimacy in sports
I agree
news.
with you. I agree. But back onto the topic of golf and the Masters.
The Masters.
For another day, we could talk about scandals in professional sports.
Right. Well, he's just what's come along in the past 15 years that's been incredible. It's incredible when he plays golf, and he drew the average person to the game.
Yeah, I mean,
he's once in a lifetime. Jack Nicklaus was
Jack would have been as big if they had this kind of wall-to-wall coverage, right?
Those kind of comparisons those are
hard.
Talk in circle, hypothetical things.
Right.
I mean, you can't say, oh, if Tiger had been in Jack's time or Jack and Tiger's time, who knows? But I mean, you also have to look at the equipment and all. You could debate all that all day.
Discussion, okay.
But do you think? Here's another question. Do you think Tiger will win enough majors to surpass Nicklaus's record?
No.
Yes.
In his career?
Yes.
Ryan with the no, Ray with the yes. Okay, debate this out. Why don't you think Tiger will ever either tie or exceed Baby by one tournament in titles?
I just don't feel. I feel like he's at a point. He's at the point where wins aren't going to be coming as frequently as they were when he was young. I mean, it's quite obvious. The older you get, he is going to win, sure, but is he? I mean. Is he going to win major championships? Could he win this year? Very well. I'd put him in the top 10 in terms of, odds of winning. But I just don't know anymore. I don't know if this whole scandal thing has really messed with the mental aspect of it, if he can focus like he used to be able to. He's breaking down. I mean, he can't heal as faster as he used to. He's got serious injuries that he's dealing with all the time, things that we probably don't know about. So I don't know. The odds aren't in his favor. They're really not. And I'm sure we could debate this for 100 years, and if there were people in this room, they would probably disagree with me. Most people would. But, I mean, look at Nicklaus. I mean, it just stops happening at a certain time in your life. Tom Watson, Gary Player, look at all the greats that ever played the game. Johnny Miller. I mean, the body starts to slow down and break down. And the mental part of the game, the putting, that part starts to break down. And it just, you don't have what you used to have when you were younger. It's true.
Okay, Ray. Counters that argument.
Yeah, well, look, Tom Watson almost won the British Open a couple of years ago at age 59, except for a putt.
Almost.
Right? Right.
Almost.
He was right there on Sunday on the 18th hole.
Almost
So,
won.
I know, but I'm telling you, Jack Nicklaus was 46 when he won his last Masters.
Right.
That gives Tiger another 9 years. He's
What
playing
did Jack win before that?
It had been a while. Right?
And when was the last time Tom Watson won a major?
On the senior or the regular tour?
On the regular tour. How long had it been when he was playing on the regular tour? I'm pulling your leg. I'm just trying to give you a hard
time. Back to this. We don't want to take all of Brooks' time. Tiger Woods.
I just think that like I said, it just, the older you get, the harder it's going to be.
I think he's got the mental fortitude to do it. He's going to play Augusta for the rest of his life. He has a lifetime exemption. He never has to worry about that. He's got a 10-year exemption into the U.S. Open. I played the Olympic Club last year. He can win there. He can win Augusta this year. He can win Olympic Club in June in San Francisco, easily. California courses he's familiar with, going to Stanford. Why couldn't he win those two? And that gets him to what? 14 majors?
Yeah, but we're also counting.
That 14.
Isn't, even despite his win last week, isn't he still like number 2 and Rory's still World 1 right now? And Roy could really do well this week.
No, Luke Donald is number 1.
Oh, Luke is now?
Luke
okay.
Rory's number 2. Let's see. Steve Stricker moved up to number 5, and Tiger's number 6 in the world.
So where's Phil?
I'm telling you, when guys like Rory McIlroy are coming around the block,
yeah,
things much tougher for Tiger Woods.
I think he can beat him still. I would love to see that. Wouldn't you love it?
When it came down to Tiger and Roy in the final round?
Yeah.
That'd be epic. That'd be huge ratings for CBS.
Maybe we just called what's going to happen on Sunday.
Well, look, who's going to ever pass Jack's record if not Tiger Woods?
It might not be in our life. It won't be in our lifetime, that's for sure. It's going to take way too long for that to happen. But
okay.
I mean,
but we love records being
30 years from now. Think that 20 years.
But we can't.
I don't know.
I mean, are we talking anybody or Tiger? Like,
we have Jack Nicklaus and then we have Tiger Woods. Who is between Nicklaus and Tiger Woods?
Nobody.
And it took 20 years for Tiger to come along. So,
right.
May not be in our lifetime to see that happen.
Well, you're pretty young. Might not be in my lifetime.
But I think that I don't know. This week I'm not feeling it with Tiger this week. But I think that I have a feeling Adam Scott this week, Lee Westwood.
Well, he needs to get the monkey off. They both need to get the monkey off their back.
I'd look out for Phil.
You know who I miss hearing about is Vijay Singh and her
Too
teeth
old.
Goosen because,
Too old.
well, still, they gave Tiger a run for his money a few years ago, even before all of the drama went down.
Well,
So,
I don't think VJ's too old. I think he's too hurt. I mean, the guy's had injuries the past 3 years on tour.
And he hits 1,000 balls a day.
He just can't. You know, like I said with Tiger, you get to that age and you injure yourself, you can't recover like you could when you were 20 or 25, 26, 27. When you get 30, 35, a Tiger, you can't. Your body just does not recover, and that's why I mean, VJ, is he just as good as he was 4 years ago? Probably. Can he compete? I just don't. I don't think so.
Well, what do you think of having Ben Crenshaw in the field? Or Craig Stadler in the field? I mean, obviously these guys aren't going to win. They're taking up 2 spots.
Yeah, but part of the great part of that tournament is it's separate from the PGA Tour. It's not part of the PGA Tour, so
Right.
it's an entity unto itself. So they can make any rules that they want in terms
Right.
of who plays and who they invite who they want to play in the tournament. So
They did not
if
invite
you're a
Ernie.
past champion, what's that?
They didn't invite Ernie Els.
No, because they probably didn't feel he was deserving enough. But and he's probably played there so long, and he may have had chances that we don't know about that invited him. You know,
Right.
when he had qualified. So I think that's the great part of the Masters is that you win that tournament, you get a lifetime exemption.
Right.
Because that is a very difficult tournament to win. And I think Crenshaw's won it twice. I mean, the guy won it in 1995. So
Right.
I think that it's good for the game to see those guys playing in that tournament. I just it's history. History is still a part of that tournament, and they know when to call it quits. I mean, Jack and Arnold and Gary, they knew when to call it quits, and so you know, even Faldo's not playing anymore.
Right.
So
That's right.
I mean, they know when they know when they need to hang it up.
well, on that note, like this past week, they talked about a possible woman joining the club, which, yay, about friggin' time. But do you think that we're entering a new era with the Masters and Augusta and the whole membership aspect to the game? Of
I
being
knew
that
you were
it's-
going to bring it up. I have no comment.
No comment. The reason this is coming up is because IBM is the major sponsor of the Masters, and the CEO of IBM is a woman, and she's supposed to don a green jacket on Sunday, which women are not allowed to do.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Ray, I like to give Brooke a hard time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's our thing.
Should women be allowed to be a member at Augusta?
Yeah, and why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long?
Okay, so this is the age-old debate. Should women be allowed? Is it a private club?
Yes, it is private.
Are private clubs allowed to make their own rules?
Yes.
Okay, so if there's a club out there not golf related that's run by women, can they make their own rules to not allow men into the club?
Yeah, but historically, I mean, and we know
I'm just saying that if something's private, it's private. They have the right. It's not part of the PGA Tour. This is separate, totally separate from anything else. They have the right to do
yes,
what they want.
but for an event,
That doesn't mean that I'm not saying personally. I'm saying that women shouldn't be allowed, but that's a fact. I mean,
well, I get your argument on that, but personally for this, every year it seems like the media, the commercials, and the sponsorship,
Sure.
and anything that is associated with the Masters.
Sure.
I mean, I've been seeing Masters commercials for like months now.
4 months.
Yeah, and
Sure.
what I'm saying is they make it out to be like the tournament to watch, even more maybe popular than U.S. Open. Thus, I understand they're a private club, but wouldn't you think that if they're getting the notoriety that they are, that they would be a little bit more, equal on the playing field with terms with members of their board, because
I agree with you. Yes, I agree. I think, times are changing, so I think we need to move, join
because
the time.
historically and even statistically now, women's golf, the LPGA doesn't get the coverage that PGA gets. There are a lot of great women golfers out there. So what I'm saying...
Yeah, but you can now make the argument for the senior tour. I mean, they don't make it either. So, I mean, I don't understand the argument there.
Well, what I'm saying is coverage, like you had mentioned in your argument about, private, and if, the women go out and start their own club. But
no, that's not what I said. I said women have their own, not golf clubs, I said, but if you can have your own private club, golf or not, whatever you call it, men are not allowed. I mean, men cannot play on the LPGA tour.
Right. Well, all I'm saying is, it has, the equality. My question is, why is it now just coming up, and why is it?
Oh my God, it's been coming. It's been there for 100 years. I mean, look at what's her name that protested it about 7 years ago. And she had a big rally.
2003, yeah.
She had a huge rally, or she called for a huge rally. I think like 50 people showed up to say that women should be a part of this and they should be allowed. It fell flat on its face because I think of the argument I just made. It's a private club. Can you really tell them what they should and shouldn't do?
But aren't there women members of the club?
No, they're not.
Oh, okay then.
That's what I'm saying. There's no women aren't members. They're not. I mean, so
they can't go in the clubhouse.
Okay, and then in that case, see, I thought all this age-old time that because I've been to multiple courses of my own, that there's men and women are on the board.
No, there's no women. No women.
So at Augusta, there's nothing. Okay, well
the RNA.
I learned me some.
The Royal and Ancient, when I played the old course of St. Andrews, which they only started letting women play in 2007, the men could go in the RNA with a suit and tie, but I was not allowed in.
Now, the argument is if this is such a big problem, then why don't major sponsors pull from the tournament? If they want women involved, why don't they just say, "Hey, we're going to protest, and we're not." That
would be IBM right now, because that's their CEO is a woman.
Right.
And they customarily get the IBM CEO gets a membership. They sure aren't extending it to her now. She became president in January.
Because the club doesn't allow women.
Correct. But IBM's not about to pull their sponsorship.
Oh no! I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the president and CEO of IBM, and they sponsor what? 6 minutes of commercials an hour.
Sure. Yeah.
But Augusta's not going to let her wear a green jacket on Sunday.
Is that there? That was in
the press conference that Payne did today.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's a private club. Do I think it's fair? No, but that's the way they roll. No pun intended.
Or pun intended.
So, do we have any? Is anyone watching? Do we have any
I don't know. I can't breathe and get comments. So if anybody's commented on your shares, well, I don't really want to
Yeah, you don't
freeze
go
again.
anywhere.
Yeah.
So, what else do you want to talk about, Brooke, with the Masters?
Well, we kind of hit it on the head, but
wow, we've hit all the controversial
headlines.
Well,
pretty much.
How do you think Phil's going to do?
Well, that's what I was going to
that's
come
what I
up
said. I picked him. As I said, I picked him. I predict he'll be their top 5.
Not Hunter Mahan?
Well, speaking of Phil, my question with Phil is, can we say that Phil's one of the greatest left-handed golfers we've ever seen?
Well,
besides Ray Charles.
Ray Charles.
Jesus, where's my mind?
I don't know.
On music. Like
I'm Ray. My name's Ray.
No, Bob Charles. I'm sorry.
yeah,
My mind is on music, but Bob Charles is one of the great left-handers.
Well, Phil's won only 4 majors, right?
in his
Yes.
career or
Yeah,
recently?
in his career.
Okay.
3 Masters and 1 PGA. No
Only.
U.S. Open and no...
Only
well,
3 majors. 4
4
majors.
4. Okay, who currently playing besides Tiger Woods has more than that?
Ew. Good question. I'd have to look
BJ.
Yeah.
Um,
Ernie Els? No?
Ernie Els.
Nope. They have Ernie Els has 2 U.S. Opens and a British.
Oh, so it's 3.
Retief has 2 U.S. Opens.
No, VJ has 4.
He won what? He didn't win a U.S. Open or a British Open. He won 2 Masters and 1 PGA.
God,
I know my golf stuff.
I can't think of. I'm trying to think of someone else that. So besides Tiger, Phil has the most majors then before.
Well,
Actively
in the
playing.
current...
Actively.
like
Right.
this weekend.
Right.
Right. Obviously not in
That-
sure.
Right. So, I mean, that's kind of a small club then. You would have
It really
to...
is.
And great players.
I'm looking at, yeah. I mean, Mike Weir won 1 Masters, right? Angel Cabrera won a Masters and a U.S. Open. Zach Johnson won a Masters. But they've never won anything else. Majors.
You mean
wise.
majors?
Right. They're hard to come by. What do you think of Ian Poulter? Think he has a
No
chance to win a major?
A major, maybe. Masters, no.
No. Lee Westwood you like, though.
Yep.
Ricky
I like
Fowler?
guys that have been in contention on Sunday there before, and on Saturday. Whether they're playing well now or not, it doesn't matter. They get to that golf course
Right.
and something sparks in them, and they know what it takes to compete. They know what it takes to play on those greens. And Tiger said, it's the age-old question at Augusta is putting. How do you putt the greens? And Tiger said in an interview yesterday or today, you
Right.
got to hit it close. That's
Right.
just it. In order to putt
Right.
in those greens, you have to hit it close. And that course is so sloped. I mean, I can't even tell you. The TV does it absolutely zero justice
Right.
at how sloped that golf course.
Right.
And they just can't. It turns men into boys on Sunday afternoon.
I can't
Because
wait.
they just start hitting it all over the place, and they can't keep up.
So with it being sloped, do you think is one of the most difficult courses on the tour?
No.
What course would be...
I think it's difficult under the pressure of that tournament. Do I think it's one of the most difficult courses? No.
So on the tour, what course do you think is the most...
In
difficult.
tournament conditions,
Yes.
Oakmont Country Club.
But that's not in rotation every year.
No. We're just talking about most difficult courses.
Well, I said in tour.
Yeah, on tour. Yeah, I
That's
think
not.
Oakmont.
That's only used for a U.S. Open, right? Oakmont.
Oh no, it's held 14 major championships.
Right. It's not. It's not an annual tour stop.
No. But in terms of courses that are difficult on tour, that players have played.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking, Brooke?
Yeah.
That's no question. Oakmont is.